What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Friday Night Live back here with y'all. And I'll wait till y'all start showing up before I start really running my mouth. But we're going to go in on this topic and try to explain why. Just going to wait. We're going to go in on the topic, though. Because I know it's something that a lot of y'all can relate to. What's up, Roshan? Roshan, the first one. How y'all feeling? We're going to go in on this one, man. Because I think it's very important that we get some understanding on this. I'm not saying, Adam Anarchy, I'm not telling people to hit the like no more. I don't do that no more. I retired my hit the like button speeches. But I do want to get into this topic. There's a couple other things I want to talk about too. But I definitely want to go into the title of this live because, again, I think it's something that a lot of people need help with understanding how to process that whole concept. Let me shout y'all out. What's up, Mars? Mars 1. Hey, Mars, I ain't forgot about you, man. When I come to Tombstone, man, I need you to come pick your boy up. What up, Marcus? I see you. Horizon of Zion. It's all good. Y'all see the topic, and caring is draining. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of just reading it on the surface, because it is a pretty surface-based topic. A lot of times we stress and we struggle mentally and we worry and we concerned and about people and about the outcome of people outside of ourselves, the outcome of their situations. We get worried and troubled behind that simply because these are people that we care about. And when you care about somebody, they don't have to be nowhere near you. They could be overseas. They could be in another city. And when you focused on their well-being, hoping that they are right, wondering if they ate tonight, hoping that they ain't caught up in no trouble, hoping that they made it home safe, glad when you hear from them, from you. Now, one of the key components of this topic that I'm bringing up to y'all is when you're dealing with people, when you care about people who are troublesome, when you care about people who are always involved in controversy, always getting into trouble, always having problems, all just loose cannon type of people, but you care about them. Why do you care about them? You care about them because they might be your child, might be your son, it might be your daughter, might be your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your best friend, somebody that you have invested time with over the years, and they've invested time in you. Y'all have a connection and a relationship, but y'all are not alike in terms of how y'all move. Or there may be a generation gap. There may be a gap in terms of maturity and how they think and process based on how you think and process. That's where the parent-child relationship or that dynamic kicks in, because you can't understand why Junior keep getting in trouble all the time. No matter what you try to tell him, He leaves the house, going to school, acting a fool. Just baby girl won't listen. She just won't do right. And you can't put it together as to why. And people will tell you, not always in the case of your children, but sometimes when your children are grown, people will say this to you, but not typically when they're not. People will say, well, hey, man, you got to let that go, man. You got to let them do what they're going to do. You can't control what a person's going to do. You got to let them do what they're going to do. And for you, it's not that easy. It's not that easy for you to just go, well, yeah, man, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because you care. But in the process of that caring, and you dealing with somebody who has a repetitious pattern of bad behavior, and because you care, you end up bailing them out, pulling them out, talking them out. It takes a toll on you mentally, sometimes physically, but it takes a toll on you mentally. So now you're just like, man, especially like I said, if they're doing the same thing over and over. So you can't stop caring about the person because that's one of your loved ones. In the case of children, that's why a good parent would speak on reasons why they discipline their children. Back in the day, they would say, well, man, a father or a mother would tell a child, well, I whooped you because I love you. And as a young person, you don't really understand that. You're like, what you mean you whoop me because you love me? How can you hit me, but at the same time say you love me? And the answer is simple. It's because you want to do everything you can to train that child and teach that child how to carry themselves while they're under your roof. You're teaching them how to carry themselves. The training is in the house. So when they leave outside of the doors of your house, they know how to carry themselves because somebody outside them doors is not going to necessarily care about them the way you do. So you do everything in your power to make them know why this ain't cool, that ain't cool, no, don't do that. And when you do it, or maybe not like, some people, but you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go to those extremes if you didn't care about the person. If you didn't want them to be on the right path, you just let them go. And it would be stress-free. But you worry about stuff that you love. It's just natural. We worry about material things that we love. So we definitely, those of us with a heart, we definitely would have a feeling about actual people in our life that we care about. If we see them kind of out there being a loose cannon and being reckless, you care about your cell phone. Mess around and can't find your cell phone. Mess around and can't locate your cell phone. You will see a person turn into a totally different person if they can't find their phone. Tell me I'm lying. See? Because you've invested so much of your life into that device, and you have entered into a relationship with that device. You've entered into a relationship with a phone that's to where you and that phone have a greater connection than you and your children. You and that phone have a greater connection than you and your wife, you and your husband. Tell me I'm lying. Now it may not be 100% of the people that applies to, but it's a big portion. You and that phone got a relationship. Y'all share a certain bond. Y'all share certain secrets. That's why it's such an uproar if your husband and your wife get a hold of you. If you got one of them husbands or wives that like to go through your phone and sneak and grab your phone and check, insecure and checking what you're doing, you're gonna fight to the end and not let them see that phone, because y'all got a relationship. Maybe some things in there that's just between you and the phone. But when you care about somebody, when you got love for somebody, it's draining, because it's a 24-hour process of trying to make sure that they good. And again, if somebody is constantly causing problems and bringing stress to your life, but you invested in them, it's not that easy for you to cut it loose. You can't just, a lot of times can't just say, okay, well, you know what, cut it loose. Even if people are giving you that kind of advice, you invested, but now you stressing out. I don't know what to do with this boy, man. I tell this boy over and over again, all he want to do is run the streets. All he want to do is sell dope. All he want to do is run with them dudes. He just keep getting in trouble. I had to put my house up to get him out the last time. I ain't got no, you just giving all you can give to a person that don't seem to care about your well-being. So you start to get drained. You start to get frustrated. You start to just, you don't know what to do. You want to give up. It's draining. So what we want to do now is speak on and try to go into a conversation that represents us learning how to cut people loose in a healthy way, even people that you care about. Because there's a limit to everything. And that limit and that cutoff point, I'll say, the cutoff point is based on the point of recognition of the other person's intentions. Because a person can love you and care about you, but that won't stop them from using you. That won't stop them from manipulating you. That won't stop them from taking advantage of you. It won't stop them from taking you for granted, because they know that you are a safety net. They know that when all else fails, I can call her. When all else fails, I can call him. When all else fails, he got me, she got me. But the cutoff point is when you recognize that that person don't got you back. Y'all remember that movie Juice with Tupac? All praise due to Allah. Y'all remember the movie Juice with Tupac in it? Early on in the movie, when they was all tight, right? Tupac got jammed up by them other dudes in the neighborhood. They was getting ready to jump on him. But right when they was getting ready to jump on him, his partners hit the corner. Raheem and all of they hit the corner, and it was like, okay, now the odds is even. So now they bailed him out. They came to his rescue because that was their boy. They cared about him, right? When Pac flipped out in the movie, he had killed his homeboy. He was threatening the other ones, had everybody scared, and he was just gone, right? Later on in the movie, he got jammed up by them same dudes. And right when they had him jammed up against the wall, he looked across the street and he seen his boys. They were walking across the street, and he got happy. He started smiling like, oh yeah, there go my boys. But what did they do that time? They went the other way. They left him. They left him because they had reached the limit. They had reached the cutoff point based on his actions towards them. But that's the mindset. People will get in a mode where no matter how bad they do you wrong, they still expect you to look out for them. They still expect you to be there for them and bail them out, help them out, pay their way, no matter how bad they do you, or no matter how much they demonstrate that they wouldn't do that for you. But it comes with the recognition of the person that you caring about that's draining you. But it also has to come, the cutoff point also has to come when you yourself start to feel the effects of the stress that person is causing you. When you start to feel the effects of the drainage, because now the law of self-preservation has to kick in. The law of self-preservation, where you got, hey man, I gotta make sure I'm good. I gotta put my oxygen mask on first. See? Because there are some people who have been involved in friendships, relationships, father and mother, parent and child relationships that have literally allowed themselves to get sick because they won't reach that cutoff point. And they do it under the I won't say excuse, but they do it under the reasoning that, well, that's my son. I can't just leave my son. I can't just leave my daughter. You know, I mean, we've been together 10 years. I can't just throw my husband away. But he threw you away. But you're getting sick. So if self-preservation don't do it, you have to at least have the thought in your mind to say, well, I gotta have some self-pride about myself to not let myself be played like a sucker. Because your own children will play you like a sucker if you let them. That's why you got a lot of these spoiled, entitled children out here that disrespect their parents, talk crazy to them, put their hands on them. This is a real life thing that we see all the time, especially in this day and age of social media. You see all the time where children beating up their mamas and daddies and killing their parents, and dude killed his mama for some insurance money, and then he on Facebook flashing the money and like. So, but situations like that are based on two things. They're based, number one, on a buildup of what's the word I'm looking for? Of a parent allowing it to happen. You have spoiled your child. You have laid out, you have set the tone for your child to be that way with you. You never discipline, you never put them in check. And then they get old and old and old and old and old. Now the genie is out the bottle and it's no turning back. You can't wait till he's 17 then start trying to put your foot down. It's too late. Don't have no respect for you. The other reason is mental illness. You had the 10-year-old who asked his mother for a video game, and she said, "No, we can't. I'm not getting you that game." And he went there and found her gun and shot his mom in the head and killed his mom at 10 years old. Then he took her card and ordered the game. Actually went and still ordered the game online. So in my mind, I'm like, something ain't altogether right with him. But even with that being said, or even with that being just my speculation, a precedent still has to be set early from the beginning, not just with your children, but with anybody. I said this a while back on another. I don't care if it's a new job. Plenty of people work on jobs, and if you work on a job, you have co-workers on that job. You're not the only one that company hired. So you work there, there's probably 200-300 other people that work there. It could be 10 or 15, and it could be 8 or 9 of y'all in the department, or however many it is. Managers and supervisors and all that, unless they just are good, fair-minded people, anybody that work on a job can vouch for this. It's certain people that they're going to treat a certain way, and it's certain people that they're going to treat another way, good or bad. There are certain people that they give a lot of respect to, and other ones they don't seem to give respect. They talk to them in the different, and y'all on the same plane. The difference is one employee has established themselves early, like, hey, you're going to respect me. You're not going to talk to me or do me no any kind of way. I work for you. I come here, I do my job, blah, blah, blah. The other employee number 2, coming in, head scratching and foot shuffling and passive and laughing and scratching it when it don't itch, giggling when it ain't nothing funny. And now he's shown himself to be somebody that management can run over and talk crazy to, and he's fearful, and so it's a difference. So my point is that the level of respect that we receive in life is based on the standard that we establish off the rip with other people. People will say, okay, well, man, you should naturally treat and respect people and treat people with respect. You should naturally, and that's true, you should. People should naturally have respect for each. I don't care if I don't know you. I don't care if you are a homeless man on the street. I don't care what your situation. I should, on first impact, I should always have natural, regular respect for you. But unfortunately, we live in a world where it just don't always go down like that. So in that particular case, we have to teach people how to treat us. You got to teach, you got to show people how to treat you. See? That's why you'll have people sitting around joking and laughing and saying, ranking or whatever, saying certain things. And other people, they that's how they get down, whatever. But they might say something about somebody else, and that somebody else will say, "Hey man, I don't play like that, bro. Don't talk to me like that. Y'all, that's between y'all. Do that. But I'm a man. Don't call me no B. Don't call me no bitch. I'm just playing. No, I don't play like that." So now he's established himself like, okay, all right, you just taught that person how to treat you on that level. But if you don't do that, now you have a situation where you develop almost like in the streets, you develop a reputation for being a certain kind of way, and people will speak on you when you're not even around there. No, I call Jenny, man. Jenny will loan you the money. Yeah, no. You sure? Nah, yeah, she'll do it, man. She's soft, man. She's good. You know, the people just already playing on that, playing on your passive side. And because you care, you done gave somebody your last $200 that you needed for your bills, and they needed it to go on a weekend with the homeboys or something. And over time, the people that do you like that, because you got the good, you the one with the good heart, it take a toll on you, man. Then don't nobody start talking about it till mama gets sick. Now mom in the hospital, everybody wondering, oh, mama. Now daddy done had a stroke. Now everybody wanna. Sometimes they don't come in. But you can't let people just take it all out of you like that, man. That's not how mathematically, nothing in the world works like that from a mathematical standpoint, meaning that whatever is in the reserve tank, in your reserve tank, that amount exists in your tank. And if things are steady being pulled, if energy is steady being pulled from that, or let's look at it like a bank account. You got 100,000 in your bank account. You feel like, hey, I'm pretty good. I'm doing all right. But if every day you taking out 1,500, 800, 4,000, 2,200, 500, 1,000, every day you withdrawing. In the beginning, you don't feel the effects because of the amount that you already had stored up. And I had $100,000. What you got now? I'm at about 89. Oh, that's still better than the average person. That's good. But over time, that 89 turns into 72. That 72 turns into 51. 51 turns into 39. And before you know it, you look up and that 100,000 is like 1,800. Why? Because it was being withdrawn from, and nothing was ever being replaced and put back or added to. And that's how we are with our energy. So you giving and giving and giving and giving, you telling people this and helping them with that and helping them with that and helping them with that. And whether you know it or not, the impact that other people's stresses have as they dump it on you, that's why a lot of therapists and psychiatrists and counselors and psychologists, that's why a lot of them be depressed and down, because it's like ministers who counsel people, because you got to have an outlet for the negative energy that you allow to come into you. It ain't to say that you, hey man, y'all, you know, you're gonna look out for your people when you can, but you better make sure you got an outlet, that you're not just depositing all that in and it's just housed in your system because you care. So now you worried about this person, that person, and rightfully so, but you better get it out. Not to mention your own problems. You got your own problems. But the good people, they'll put their stuff to the side. And a lot of times, the good people, you don't even know that they're going through stuff, because they don't put that on other people. They don't really just, you know, they don't trade stories like that. They'll listen to you And then they'll go right into the process of trying to help you get yours together. Well, hey man, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. But some people like to trade. Some people, okay, I listen to you. Now let me tell you what I'm going through, man. Let me tell you what my cousin did the other day. You know my cousin's still on dope, right? But, or when you do try to trade, they ain't got time to listen to you. See, that's a sure sign. That applies to all different things in life. When you was loaning out money, it was cool. But when you needed a loan, same people that you was loaning money to, they ain't got nothing to fight. When you stuck your shoulder out there for everybody to cry on, this whole side of your arm was wet. And when it was time for you to cry, oh man, what? I gotta catch you later, man. I gotta go. Nobody got time for you. So it's a build-up. It's a build-up. But you care, so you allow it to keep happening. Learn your cutoff points. Learn your recognition. Learn to recognize who's for you. All right, man. Let me see what y'all talking about. I've talked long enough just to get it going. Shout out to Lester Smith. I appreciate the donation, Lester. I saw that early on. Lester said it's more mentally than physically. I guess you're referring to the process of being drained. I mean, look, everything starts in the mind. See, the mind has the absolute or one of the most absolute direct effects on the body, on the physical, because stress can manifest itself in a physical form. See, stress is a somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm taking a guess at this, but somebody, they may know this a little deeper than me, correct me if I'm wrong. The concept, the stress is like an abstract thing, because you see something, you hear something, and you think about it, and you think about the potential consequences of it that are negative, and then it messes with you. Now you're worried about it. So it's like, it's abstract, but now those thoughts start to penetrate into your physical, and they start to manifest themselves in a physical way, because stress goes into your cells. So the mind has an effect on the body. I'm going backwards, y'all. OGKO is in the building. Adam Anarchy says, I'm often trying to subtly increase my friends and acquaintances' awareness. You got to make them aware of how to treat you. And at the same time, you got to be aware of how to treat them. Sunseeker says you got to find a balance. Yeah, you got to find a balance. There has to be a balance between the love that you show and the favor that you bestow on people, and at the same time not being a fool. So that's a very valid point. You got to find a balance, because again, like I say, people will be like, oh, well, that's my son, man. I can't. You got to find a balance. See, we get old before our time, man. And that's a big problem. See, we age. See, we don't age. You don't age from the outside in. You age from the inside out. Because everything that goes into you from a mental standpoint and from a physical standpoint in terms of what you eat, drink, and all that. Everything that goes into you, it goes through a process in your system, and based on if it was good for you or bad for you coming in, your body processes it, and if it's nutritious to you, then it manifests itself in your outward. You think better, you look better, you move better. But if it's bad for you, it manifests itself in your outward. You're stressing, so now you looking old. Man, how old is he? Oh, how old is he? About 50? No, he just turned 29. See? You just frowned up. You don't even know you're frowning. I'm still reading what y'all talking about. I'm just scrolling backwards and coming. I went up and I'm coming back down. Cherie says, caring can be draining. It's boundaries. Boundaries. You have to set by. You know what? And this is why that's such a good point, is because sometimes you have to legitimately for yourself set up business hours for yourself. I'm operating between the hours of blah, blah, and blah, blah. After such and such a clock, I don't want to hear no mess. I don't want no drama. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with that. Just like a company, hey man, I can't go to the grocery store at 4 a.m, man. It's closed. I gotta wait. Anything I need, I should have got it earlier. We got to be the same way if it comes to that. We got to get to the point where it's like, wait, man, you know what? I've been dealing with this stuff all day long, man. It's kind of like when you work on your job. Now, there are people out there that like the work that they do. They love their work. They love their job. But for the most part, I'm gonna step out on a limb and say, for the most part, the average person don't really like their job. You tolerate, it's cool, but a lot of people don't like their job. So with that being said, people who don't really like their job, ain't really just fond of getting up and having to go to work every day, the last thing you want to do is deal with anything related to your job once you clock out from your job. So if you got off at 5 o'clock, if somebody call you at 6:30, you at home chilling with a glass of lemonade and a remote control in your hand, resting, and then somebody call you and say, man, so at y'all company, I don't even want to talk about that place right now. I got to get up and go right back there in the morning. I don't want to talk about it. And you might say, yeah, we do that, man. Well, just come by tomorrow, man. I'll be at work at 9. You don't want to talk about it. I feel like talking about that right now. I'm not interested in that. I'm trying to separate myself. So it's boundaries that you have to set just for your own sanity, your own mental well-being, because too much of something just can consume you to a point where it's like, man, nah, I got to get a break from that. It's like we talked about a while back when we talked about clingy people in relationships, right? I'm sure y'all have been in a relationship or 2 or 3 or 5, or you might still be in one where the person that you're in that relationship with, they just want to be around you 25/8. And if you're not compatible with that, if that's not how you roll, some people they cool with it. Like, I roll like that. I don't mind. Hey, I could be around my woman 24 hours a day. And she like, I could be around them 24. So y'all good. I ain't count y'all. But if y'all are different to where one likes to be around that person all the time, never gets tired of you, but you're a person who you stick and move, you need your space. I need time to miss you. Then y'all gonna have some issues. But you probably didn't establish that early and set those boundaries early so the person would know. A Goldfeather said 3 great points in one chat. That perspective on discipline relationships with the phone and what it's like to reach that cutoff point. Yeah, man. So many things are just, great metaphors for our life. Things that we do every day are so connected to other things and other ways that we move. But caring can be draining. But I'm not telling you to stop caring, though. That's the mistake that I don't want you to make. Because most people will say, well, what does that mean? That means I'm just going to cut everybody off then. I don't know. No. That's not what it means. It's boundaries, what Cherie said. It's drawing a line. It's knowing how to take your time to yourself. And Spikey said, it's draining it. Caring is draining. Is that why I've been feeling tired lately? It could be. See, this is the thing, man. Physical activity is not the only thing that can tire you out. I get tired writing songs. I get physically tired from doing a mental activity. I'm thinking. And I'm writing. And if I work 2 or 3, 4 hours just writing, I'll look up like, man, I'm hungry. Man, I'm tired. Man, I'm sleepy. Because you are generating energy. You are working your mind, and that's an exercise. So it might be why you tired. Might be why you sluggish. It might be all of those things. Lou Harvey says, I've been feeling tired too. But it could be something physical. You could be eating wrong. You could be not getting enough rest. So a bunch of reasons, a bunch of factors. Let me catch up, man. Let me come down low. I ain't seeing nothing up high. Kiki Jefferson says, as an introvert, it's very important to get alone time because we will cuss everybody. And the dog. The dog got to get it too. Not the dog. The dog is going to be there if nobody else is there. But I understand. That's what I say. You have to demand time to yourself. And it makes you better when you come back to the people that you care about. Because again, I just gave a bank account analogy. If all I'm doing is giving out money, sooner or later my money gonna run out. I'm not generating nothing coming back in. So let me take the time out, stack my chips back up. But I can't help you if I put myself in a position or allow myself to be in a position where I'm not even any good to myself. Sometimes, man, I do these chats and I read some of the I skim through the comments to try to find a good one, but I read some of the stuff that y'all just be talking about anything. Like I'm reading comments on here where it's a few of y'all in here that just are saying the weirdest stuff that don't have nothing to do with what we're talking about. So it's like you sitting around just, man, as soon as this moment comes, I'm just gonna go in here and start talking about plastic cups. I've been waiting to talk about plastic cups all week. I mean, be just on you are in your own world, just saying anything. And my question, are you even aware that it's a topic? We have a topic, or is this just like your opportunity to make this into a soapbox? All right, let me see what we got. I just had to throw that out there. Like Big Red said, he had to let old buddy know what his office hours was. 9 to 5. He had to let him know because the man came to a social event wanting to discuss something off the clock. And Big Red told him, hey man, we ain't on the clock right now. Hey man, my business hours are from 9. He told him the first time. Then he had to get handled up to understand. Rapper K is in the building, man. So we got OGKO and Rapper K up in this thing tonight. South Park Coalition Originals in the building. And see, when you care about something or somebody and it keeps disappointing you, it keeps letting you down, or they keep letting you down, but you care about them. You see the potential in them. They don't see the road they're going down as being a problem, but you do because you got a little more wisdom, a little more insight. It's draining because you get worried, you get scared, like, oh my God. Oh, I hope nothing happened to this food. I hope this food don't do nothing crazy. Because it's only so much that we can control. You can control what a 3-month-old baby does. You can't control 100% what a 15, 16, 17-year-old child does. What a 28, 35-year-old grown man or woman does. You can't control that. Can't do it. Space City 713 makes a great point. Sometimes it's tiresome being the shoulder to lean on or the listening ear when your people have consistent problems while you're trying to clear your own affair. That's it in a nutshell. Because what happens is, which I got to make you see this too, which you got to understand. Some of us are actually, I want to use the word blessed. Some of us are blessed with the quality of being that one who's that rock that people can come to. You might be that person in your family. You might be that person that everybody comes and they dump all of they problems on. They it's people that other people just for some reason they feel comfortable talking to them. Happens all the time. I've talked to people that say, man, I'm just one of them people where total strangers can just start talking to me and telling me all their problems. And, we've all had that, but some people get it more than others. And when it's like that, you get a reputation. It's like, oh man, such and such helped me, man. But they'll tell somebody, oh man, what you going? Hey man, call Johnny, man. I'm telling you, man, Johnny be having some game, man. But like I said earlier, like you just said, like Space City just said, but sometimes we put our own stuff to the side to help the people that you care about. And that's a good thing to do, but you still got to make sure you straight. Caring is draining, y'all, but it's necessary to a degree. Don't ever stop. This topic is not to encourage people to, well, yeah, you just got to stop just caring it all, man. Just turn it to a robot. Nah. It's to make us understand how to move and how to do it and to have that balance, like somebody said earlier. I'm gonna do an open topic tomorrow, man. And all of y'all better be on here tomorrow asking me these questions. Angela, what is cheap caring? You put cheap caring. Make me understand what that means. Haston says it's hard to keep being a shoulder for someone who does not listen when you try to point out why they might feel like that. To be able to look within yourself is a valuable skill. And see, that's another thing because you know how people will ask you for your advice, and then when you tell them something, they start arguing with you. Man, I want to tell me your opinion on this. There you go. All right, yeah, I'm listening. So this old lady cussed me out today. You think I should slap her? You go, nah, don't slap her. But she cussed me out. No, but don't slap her. Oh man, you somebody asks your opinion, and then they do the opposite of what you suggest. Not to say they should just do it because you said to do it, but they'll get mad or they'll just do the opposite. That's because they already had a predetermined decision in their mind of what they was going to do anyway. They wasn't asking you for your opinion because they was really searching for alternative opinions. They were just looking for somebody who was going to agree with them. They wanted to see if you was going to agree with them, what they already had in their mind to do. You ain't even told them what you was going to do. They just said what they thoughts was, and then you got mad and started debating with them. Okay, seen somebody say cheap lies. Yeah. No. I was just trying to see. I was trying to elaborate. Apocalyptic Minister says, I told my son, if you're not good, we ain't good. But when you're good, I know I'm good, no matter how bad I'm doing. Yeah, well, and those that's when you care, because you know when you care about people, you a lot of times you put their well-being ahead of yours. And in certain situations, yeah, that's only right. You know, you see people who are jealous and envious of their own children. Like when the goal is supposed to always be, you know, each generation should want the next generation of their bloodline to be better. But if I'm trying to rap all these years, and then my 15-year-old son, he start rapping and he just blow up and turn to this big world incredible rapper, then I get mad. And I've been doing this 40 years, man. He just don't, hey, he don't even know what to do yet. No, you should be glad that he was better than you. I played basketball. I ain't make it to the NBA. You mad because your son made it to the NBA. Nah, you want him to be better. You should have trained him or her to be better. That should have been the goal out the womb, because we already have lived portions of our life to where we've experienced failures and disappointments and down points and mishaps and strikeouts and all this different stuff. So now there are things we can look at and be like, you know what? I'm going to try to train mine up to not fall into some of the holes that I fell in, and make him or her better than me. Not to wish and hope that I failed. He need to fail too. See, that's a cycle. That's why people, they got abused by their parents. They had children, they end up beating and abusing their children, instead of saying, well, no, I ain't gonna do what my daddy did to me. I'm gonna not beat my children for no reason. Break the cycle. The mandate of God's will says, read Robert Greene's book on human nature, the guy who wrote the 48 Laws of Power. He says, y'all sound like y'all confused and don't know your own natures, crying about bull crap. Y'all need to advance. Well, congratulations to you on your advancement if you've advanced. But unfortunately, there might be some of us regular folks, some of us confused folks, who still need to chop it up with each other and get some understanding and bounce wisdom off of each other. Everybody is not as enlightened as you are. The mandate of God. You found the way. You mastered it, even though you probably haven't. And I'm sure that was a time where you was lost, and you may still be lost. But if you're not, I still extend my congratulations, because what we got to understand as people who are always seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, or people who should be seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and there being so many people on this planet of different ages, different experiences, different lifestyles and cultures, different bodies of knowledge and conditions of living. What we got to understand is that we are all on different levels of understanding and knowledge and wisdom. We all on different levels. So if you make it to this level before I get up there, I'm just not getting here. So you up here looking at me down here, looking at us down here. So y'all confused. Y'all need to get it together. Y'all. You might not be wise as you think you are, because you up here, or so you might think you are. But guess what? It's somebody up here. Knowledge is infinite, but we have to be very careful to not become self-righteous in our knowledge, because that's what the misuse of knowledge can do. It can make the ignorant among us become self-righteous. So now things that you once did not know in your life, you learn these things and you start condemning people who don't. That don't sound too wise. So I'm gonna stay down here with, we confused. We trying to figure it out, y'all. I ain't got no shame in my game. Hey, I'm trying to figure it out. Who's with me trying to figure this thing called life out, man? Which one of y'all got, if you got life mastered, raise your lying hand. Raise your lying hand if you done mastered this thing. See? We all trying to figure it out. Oh, 102 Drought says, that's the problem with smart people. I'm going to put it in smart people. They don't know that they're smarter. I would say they don't know that they're smarter people, but can't be self-righteous. That's a mistake. Ooh, y'all dropping wisdom now. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. Come on, man. Come on, apocalyptic. Retribution says we gonna kick it in the gutter. Hey man, that's self-righteousness, man. That's a disease, man. Better clip that off, sir. You can't get a little knowledge. See, that's, you know what that's like? That's like people who come up in the world financially. You hit a lick and get a little money. Now you got nice possessions, some material possessions, and now you looking down on other people. Ugh. You still driving that? Ah. Oh, I see. He come around neighborhood. Oh, I see y'all still live around here, huh? Y'all still live in these little apartments, huh? Okay, well, I better get home. My pool guy's coming by at 4 o'clock. I better get home. Be careful. The Lord giveth. Don't get a little something and start treating people like that. Big mistake. Big mistake. You cannot expect everybody to know what you think you know. Notice I said what you think you know, because even if you think you know it, it ain't guaranteed that you do know it. And if you do know it, you don't know the fullness of nothing. None of us understand the totality of any one thing. You don't even know yourself in totality. If you did, you would have zero issues. You would never get sick. So be careful. And if there is a situation where you know something and you see that there are people who don't know it and they're suffering because, then your job is to be a humble teacher of it, not a tyrannical dictator. Look how dumb y'all are. Y'all dumb. Y'all still follow. Y'all stupid, man. You didn't know this? Don't do it. I'm trying to save you. Humility. Humility. God bless you to test you. Always remember that. God bless you to test you, not to condemn people who don't know what you know. That ain't how you do it. Would Jesus do that? Would Jesus be telling y'all stupid, man? Look at this dummy here, man. Picture Jesus. Look at this dummy. Look at these dummies over there, man, trying to figure it out. Y'all been learning what I learned. Well, how do you learn, Jesus? Hey, you figure it out. I'm finna go. What's up, Connie? Whenever you're trying to help someone, you must do it with love. Look, you ever had... That's why you got good teachers and bad teachers, like in school. You ever had that teacher, man, that, or even not in school, you ever had somebody try to show you and teach you how to do something, and they going like 1,000,000 miles an hour? They talking fast and they using all this, the terminology of the thing that you don't want, and you like, They're teaching you like that because they're not recognizing you don't know it. They know it. So this okay, well, you gotta hook this, then you gotta take this in. Okay, and you like, okay, well, slow down. Hold on, man. So hold on. You said you gotta do it. Yeah, man, I said listen, man, you gotta put it. You can't teach people like that. You can't teach people like that. I'll check out instantly when folks teaching me like that. I remember when y'all probably gonna laugh at me when I say this. Ooh, apocalyptic say you can't even count the hairs on your head. Trying to act like you got life mastered because you read a book that somebody else wrote that they got from somebody else. Come on, man. We ain't gonna do that. We don't do that here. You're gonna humble yourself when you come like that. Or life gonna humble you. You're gonna come into a situation. Better show some love. I forgot what I was about to say. It left me. Spikey said, I thought I was healthy when I went vegan, but it's like you mentioned a long time ago, veganism. Nah, man, look, I don't rock with veganism, man. Veganism is a I won't say it's a scam, but it's an what's the word I can look for? It's a deception. It's not what people make it out to be, man. But that's another story. Oh, that's what I was about to say. When I first started learning how to work the internet, like do a computer, this was like in the late 90s. I know y'all laugh, I'm an old school dude, so I wasn't on the internet in like 93, 94 when it first popped out. I didn't really start becoming like internet knowledgeable to like the late 90s. And I think my dad introduced me. He brought somebody in to help me learn the internet because he was like, man, you got to learn this internet stuff. And I was like, man, I ain't really tripping on that. I just keep doing the way I've been doing it. But he was right. But the lady he brought in to like show me, she was moving 1 billion miles an hour. It's looking at it now, it's like it was nothing. But I didn't know none of the terminology. I didn't know what logging on. I don't know what nothing means. Nothing. Go to your browser. What? What's that? But she was just blah, 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 blah. And I checked out. That's what I do. 45 seconds in, I'm gonna start off trying now. I'm leaning in the beginning. I'm like, okay, all right. Then once you get to going too crazy and you're not teaching it the right way, and all of a sudden I'll find myself like, man, that's a nice car over there, man. I'm drifting. I'm gone. And ended up learning the internet from like a 16-year-old kid who just taught it as a 16-year-old kid would teach it. And I was like, because not knowing, they were just talking in their language. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, yeah, you speaking my language now. Because in that moment, I'm a 16-year-old child. I'm 10. I'm 2 in that world. So sometimes you can have all that knowledge, but if you don't know how to properly relay it and make in a way that is relatable to people, then you just talking over everybody's head. And your knowledge is not even beneficial. It don't even mean nothing because you can't communicate it. So don't beat nobody up with your wisdom. That's not wisdom. Don't beat nobody up with your information because you learned a little something. Now everybody's beneath you. You'll never be successful like that. You're right. Narcissistic people are easy to figure out. We agree. We agree there. Caring is draining, man. But sometimes it's necessary. When you coaching, if I was coaching a basketball team, I got 12 players and say, I can't coach everybody the same way. Because I could probably fuss at this guy and it'll motivate him. But if I fuss at that guy, he might start crying. Connie says a good teacher always looks at every student and gets out of each student level, then speak and teach. Yeah, everybody different. Come on, man. Unknown warrior, much love. Oh my gosh, man. But at the end of the day, finding a balance, I think, is like the best point of emphasis that we got to think of, because we don't want to get to a point where we feel like it's a lost cause to talk to people, to help people. Because a lot of times, your help, the help that you give to other people, is for you too. Of course, the person is help. Hey man, if you give somebody that's homeless, if you give them $1 or $2, man, that dollar is big to them, bro. That's huge. If they really, need that dollar, if they ain't trying to go smoke it or whatever. But it's big and huge for you too. Because charity, as the scriptures say, removes a multitude of sin. Charity removes a multitude of sin. And who don't need some sin removed? So to give is to lift a lot of our own transgressions off of us. But even that should not be just the sole reason why you do it. The real reason you should help is just because the help was needed. And on another level of how caring can be draining, and that's why people will say, even people like me, because I'm kind of like that too. People say, man, I don't watch the news, man. I can't watch the news. Because when you see all of the things that are going on in the world, it brings your spirit down. It dampens your mood. And you find yourself just like, man, I'm just down. Same, we talked about this a while back, like on social media. I forgot when we said this. Like, you jump on social media and you just in a regular mood, you cool. By the time you scroll down 10 or 12 spots and read all of the stuff that's going on, you're in a whole different mindset. But why you in that mindset when you seeing all this bad stuff? You in that mindset is because you care. You have a natural concern about the well-being of people you don't even know. That's why you can watch a video and see something bad happen to somebody and you feel that. You can read an article and you feel that because you care. Now, if you just a heartless individual, you just a freaking Sociopath, nothing bothers you. Balance, though. Torian says, your prescription on everything in this skin suit we live in lives on in your soul. Roland, you ain't see the topic when you came in? Jovan said life itself is draining. And that's a fact. Because life is not, it's in the dispensation of time that we live in right now. Life is not an easy ride. Life is filled with hurdles, obstacles, roadblocks, and stumbling stones and all kind of things, right? So life itself. But under that umbrella of life are so many different components that we have to deal with, because life, we have a pocket of people that are in our life that we grow to care about and love, which complicates life even more, because you are invested in those people and you find yourself like, nah, like I say, unless you heartless. But the average person, like, hey, man, I gotta make sure my mama good. I gotta make sure my children good. I gotta make sure my brothers, my homeboys, my woman, my husband, or whoever the situation you in, they gotta make sure they good. And in doing that, it puts a lot of pressure on you. But we created to deal with it. God made us to deal with it. We can handle it. We can handle it if we challenge it. You don't challenge it, then you lose a click. It's like somebody just took a chisel and just click, just chipped a piece of your character off if you don't challenge it. But one of the best feelings in the world is to challenge a hurdle, to challenge a problem, to face a challenge and then overcome it. That's one of the best feelings in the world, especially when you weren't sure if you could do it. A lot of the things that I wasn't 100% sure about or wasn't comfortable about in my life turned out to be some of the best moves I ever made. Because I stepped out on that faith and I was like, but our comfort zones put us in a state of mediocrity a lot of times. Because one thing you know about the comfort zone, you know it's safe. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know how it's going to happen. I know what time it's going to happen. But the comfort zone is kind of just like you just right here, just like you go this way, go back that way, go back this way. But in your mind, you wishing you could be up here. But you can't do regular things and expect to make it to you can't do normal things and expect to reach abnormal levels. You can't do ordinary things and expect to reach extraordinary levels. Extraordinary just as extraordinary. If you don't have it in your mind to take the risk to be greater, to be better, even if you're not comfortable, then you're just going to be where you at. Go this way, go that way. And that's what you do, that's fine. But you don't complain about and I'm just stuck, man. Yeah, because you had opportunities, you had chances, and something is always in your mind that say, man, go on and do it. Forget it, do it. 90% of the time, if I just went back through my whole life and just thought about all of the times that I was like, man, oh man, I don't know. I don't know about that one. And some went, man, just do it. Now, I ain't talking about nothing crazy. I don't know about this crack pipe, man. Just do it. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about challenges that represent your potential to advance in your life. Go for it. Just go for it. Somebody said something the other night I was watching. It said, success sits on the other side of fear. I think they said Will Smith or somebody said that. Success lies on the other side of fear. So fear is the wall. Fear is the wall. Fear is the hurdle. And you looking at it and it's tall. It's like, man, how am I gonna get over that? But everything you want is on the other side of that wall. You won't, you like, oh, man, that wall got barbed wire at the top of it. Ain't how I go, man. Life is draining, but life is rewarding too once you learn how to maneuver. I'm still reading y'all's comments. Johnny's Freeman say, imagine if they told good news in the morning. Ooh, that would be great. Joey says, but it makes you aware. I can't say you wasn't warned, at least. Balance, though. Oh, man, y'all funny, man. The cost of living is dying. Everyone pays. No fear. And you know something else? This is not the amusement park. Life is not the amusement park. At the amusement park, you can get on a ride, and if you like that ride, when that ride is over, you can just get back in line and get back on that ride. That's not how life, man. You get one ride. So I say this all the time, man. You don't want to be 92 years old with a bunch of regrets and woulda, shoulda, couldas, and I wish I had a. If only I could go back, I would have did this. Do it now. Do it, what, man, bro. It's still stuff I look at that I wish I would have did. Now the blessing is I can still do it. But some windows in life close. And when this ride is over, this is it. This is it, man. You ain't playing. This ain't Gallagher. You don't get an extra man. You can't build up a bunch of extra men like you playing a video game. Come on, man. Drop y'all locations, man. Let me shout y'all out. Let me shout y'all out. Show y'all some love while we on here. Don't stop caring about your people, man. Foros, Texas. What's that? Foros, Texas. Where's that at, Angelo? I never heard of that. Apocalyptic Minister out there in Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, okay. Fort Worth, Texas. I'm tripping. Okay, I got you. Mexican word. Okay, good looking out. All right, teach me, man. See what I'm saying? See how I just learned something? Andrew out there in Orlando, Florida. Lester, show low. What's that? Show low. Big Ock in the South Bronx. Man, they got that 50th hip hop show, 50th anniversary hip hop show. Where that tonight? Did they do that in New York? Spiky out there in Huntington Park, California. Jovan says, I don't live with regrets. You learn from those experiences. That's why. So you'll learn from what you did prior. Life has infinite possibility. No, you can't live with regrets, but you have regrets. I never like when people say, oh man, I don't regret anything. You regret. Now you may not dwell on it, you may not let it consume your life. You may learn from it, which you're supposed to do. But there's no way that certain things you can do that you know you dropped the ball on. And certain things can't be cleaned up. It's like, no, I regret that. Well, that's just me. I can't speak for you. Drought out there in H-Town. Well, out here in H-Town. Unknown Warrior. Planet Earth, third dimension. Richard is in Ethiopia. Man, Ethiopia in the building, man. Anamonarchy in Ontario. Oh, it's a Yankee Stadium. Ooh, man, I wonder if they're going to have it. I wonder if I can watch that. Man, it's going to be online. I got to see that. I got to see it. I don't even know who's going to be there. I just know I want to see it. Connie is in San Diego. Haston out there in Iceland. It's cold. I know it ain't cold. And I know it can't be cold. Well, it can be, but I'll be surprised. Amazed at how hot it is. Well, you know, different seasons, different sections of the world. The Marcus is in Granite City, Illinois. Hard as granite. Yeah. Roller says, what about the wicked who throw you into traumatizing situations as their favorite way of entertainment, watching you suffer? You gotta move around. You gotta separate yourself from people like that. I get asked questions like that all the time, and I know everybody's situation is different, but that's part of the process. Man, we have to stop staying around people who don't mean us well. You still with the person that's dogging you. You still hanging around the friend that's using you. You still with the person that's abusing you, mistreating you. That the answer to that question is so easy. Remove yourself. Because you're saying all of the reasons why you should remove yourself in the question. You say they throw you into traumatizing situations as their favorite way of entertainment. So basically you're saying that they are amused by your suffering, watching you suffer. That's like a hobby for them. So if you are aware that this is what somebody's doing to you, why are you still hanging around? You could you can be out of that situation in a blink. That's why I made the song Struggle Addiction a long time ago. I made a song called Struggle Addiction because it seemed like people get addicted to mistreatment and abuse. You have the ability to remove yourself from that. I don't know why they keep doing this to me. Because you keep letting them. You can't abuse me from a distance. I promise you that. Oak Cliff, Texas, up in this thing. Alberto Sierra is in the building. Let's see who else we got. All right. Had to go through wrong to see right. Yeah. It happens. Can't expect a different outcome with the same input. Come on, Joey. Hey, man. That's where we at. Joe Bond says, I'm living with a narcissist, which is my mom. She's always putting her kids in compromising positions to where she can manipulate us. But she ain't fooling me. The narcissism comes from her husband. Well, nephew, I'm going to tell you what this sounds like to me, brother. It sounds to me like it's time for you to figure out a way to get out on your own and get your own so you can remove yourself from your mother's home and her husband's home so that you won't find yourself in a situation where you may end up disrespecting your mother or adding to the resentment that you seem to already have for your mother. Because what happens is when too many grown folks, when there's too many chefs in the kitchen, the food ain't gonna come out right. So speaking as somebody who, when I reached the age of 18 years old and I was living in my mother's house with my stepfather, which was her husband, hey man, now it's 3 grown people living in the house. And one of the grown people wasn't paying no bills. So if I'm not paying any bills, I'm in no position to be calling no shots and saying how the house need to be ran and this and that. That ain't how it works, nephew. So I found myself having the exit stage left, by whatever means, out of respect, out of wanting to, be able to concentrate on doing what I felt like I wanted to do, but also out of respect. Because, I was young, so I knew it, but I didn't know it, but I knew it. Meaning that I knew, hey man, you ain't paying no bills, man. And they telling you need to get a job. I'm telling you, man, I want to be a rapper. Okay, all that rap stuff, you ain't rapping nothing around here. Not one rap, if you ever said, have brought $1 into this house, you need to go get a job. And if I couldn't abide by that and benefit to the people who are providing the roof that I'm in, that I'm under, I gotta go. I don't call no shot. I don't run nothing. So you may need to start working towards transitioning yourself out. Say she won't stop chasing the dude. He isn't a good person anyway. He's not even our father, but he's so manipulated. But I guess trying to say she's more, that he'll just keep coming back. Well, again, everything you saying could be absolutely 1000% true. But the thing you got to understand is your mother is a grown woman. And she has the right to choose. If that's her husband and she's married to him, that's her husband. And rightfully, see, a lot of people don't like this part, but when two people get married, they become number one to each other, forsaking all others. So if that's that man's wife and he's her husband, they parents are not more important. The dog ain't more important. And her grown children ain't more important. That's her husband, man. Now, when you say, well, he's not a good person anyway. Well, again, neither was my stepdad. I'm telling you, I'm letting you in the door right now. I wrote about this in my book. Anybody got my book and read it, they already familiar with this. My stepdad wasn't a good person in the beginning. Not saying, no, let me change that. It's not to say he wasn't a good person, but he did some not so good things. His part of his lifestyle was not good. It wasn't conducive to being a married man and a stepfather, and he wasn't 100% right. But guess what? My mom stayed with him and prayed, and he changed. People can change. He turned into the best possible husband for my mother. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't put nobody else with my mama but him. God rest his soul. But that was a time where I thought like you thought. I was like, this dude here, man, my mom need to cut him loose. I didn't like him. I would look at every reason like, But time changed him. God changed him. We don't know the future of a person. I ain't saying that's going to happen in your situation, but you can't discount it. You can't dismiss it. We don't know. But anything outside of him beating your mama, or if you blatantly discover, man, this dude has stole hundreds of thousands of dollars. Anything outside of him, God forbid, doing some perverted stuff to your sister, hey man, you gotta let your mom and her husband work that. That's her husband, bro. Those a hard pill to swallow. But you're a grown man now. You're a grown young man, but you're a grown man. So if it becomes a problem, it's not for you to be in that man's house saying he needs to go. If it's a problem, you as a young grown man need to say, I need to figure out how to go. Because the house done got to where I ain't feeling what's going on. Chloe Brown. What's up, Chloe Brown? What brings you to town, Chloe Brown? But that's what it is, nephew. And the first thing we try to do, we try to claim ownership over our mama. Man, that's my mama, man. That's my mama. Hey, man. Your mother, I'm certain your mother's younger than me. Because I know you young. So the fact that your mother's younger than me lets me know, man, your mom got a whole lot of life ahead of her. She wants to have a life and live a life. I don't know how long she's been married to the brother, but hey, man, you got to let her live. You got to let her live. And you can't ever make the mistake of putting your mother in a position where you're trying to force her to choose between her grown son and her husband. If he's not the person that you say he, if he's the bad person that you say he is, then time will bring that to manifestation. Time will show that. And you just pray, hey, I pray that my mom can see who he is, if that's who he is. But either way, hey man, you got to start living your life, man. Because guess what's gonna happen? That cycle repeats itself, bro. And when that cycle repeats itself, you have a moment in your head like, that's crazy. Because you may meet a woman one day, they got a child. And now all of a sudden you are in the same position that your mother's husband is in right now. And you may know yourself, like, hey man, I don't mean no harm. But just like you said in the comment, you said what every stepchild has said at some point in life throughout history. Every stepchild has said this at some point. You ain't my real daddy, no way. You ain't my real daddy, no way. Well, he knows that. He knows that. But the cycle comes around and you may live to hear them same words one day. You're a grown man now, even though you're young. When it got like that for me, I had to leave. I can't force. I ain't paying no bills. How I look trying to call shots and I ain't paying. I ain't paying the What's the cheapest bill, y'all? What's the cheapest bill out of all the bills? What, the water bill? See, the gas bill. I ain't paying a third of the gas bill. If the gas bill hitting for $30 a month, I ain't paying a 10% of that. I ain't paying $3. I ain't got a pot to piss in. And talking about, man, y'all need to. But I'm eating food. I'm cutting on lights. I'm walking through the house, flicking on lights. I'm watching TV. I'm playing video games. I'm enjoying all the benefits that this man and my mama are paying for. So if I'm that much of a man, I gotta go. That's just my uncle advice to you, nephew. That's just my uncle advice, man. But don't ever see, because I just read what LaMarcus said. LaMarcus said, my mother wasn't around, but I still respect her. See, that's a good point. Don't ever get yourself in a place where you get comfortable saying disrespectful things about your mother. Don't get to that point, man. Mom ain't perfect. Dad ain't perfect. And no, for nobody. But we don't know everything, and you ain't perfect either. Yep. Come on, apocalyptic. Apocalyptic quoting the scripture. So a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and the two will become one body. Everybody is secondary after that. If she married that man and that man married, everybody is number two on down. We can't be in our feelings behind that. They are not to put nobody above each other. And I ain't finna expect them to put me. When in my youth, I did. I was young. I ain't know. I was just like you. Trying to take my mama, man. That man, dude. Come on, now. 'Cause To be true, what's going on? Chloe Brown is in town. Phantom Face Final. What's up, man? Where you been, man? The mandate of God said, how do you get rid of someone who you love that won't leave? Won't leave where? They won't leave your home, or y'all under the same roof, or they won't leave your life, like they just steady still bothering you, harassing you. You would have to be more specific, because either way, it ain't easy. What's up, Bryson? It's not easy, man. And you said someone you love that won't leave. So you care about them. So if you love them, why you want them to leave? What's the backstory? Two Sweeters out there in Australia. Joe Callio is in the house, man. What's up, Joe? What's up, Torrance, out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? I love her, but she won't leave. And I don't want her to, don't want her on the street. But she's a very abusive person. But she does love. She just really hurt. Not by me, but by life. So she lived with you. How long y'all been together? The bottom line is this here. If you want her gone, if you at a point where you really and truly want her gone, then you're going to have that conversation with her. And hopefully she has a place to go, like with family or people that, you know, that she can go to. And like you say, it's a tough situation because you don't want to put nobody out. You're not going to put out on the street. But if somebody is abusing you under your own roof, then you are at fault as well. And if it's physical abuse, now that becomes dangerous, because now you lay your head under the same roof and possibly in the same bed with this person, and you find yourself in positions of being off guard and vulnerable while you're in that knocked out sleep, and you don't know what this person might be capable of doing. So you're in a dilemma, indeed, but you better have a conversation. And if it comes down to your well-being and your potential safety, and you got to weigh that up against the love you say you have, you better choose safety, because a whole lot of people got bumped off by people that they actually loved. So Javon says, you won't understand because you are not in my shoes. But any individual should know that it's not okay to sacrifice your own 3 children for another man, let alone manipulate the circumstance. Well, I wasn't in your shoes in terms of having 2 other siblings, because it was just me. I'm the only child on my mama's side. But you also have to make sure that what you are alleging in terms of saying sacrificing your own children for another man, which I don't even know what you mean when you say about sacrificing. You got to make sure that that's accurate. what you're saying, because one thing I know from being in that position that you're talking about, my view and my assessment of how I was being treated was inaccurate. I found that I figured that out later as I came on to my manhood and my understanding. Like, I was viewing that wrong. So yeah, I didn't have brothers and sisters to say, well, man, you know, we all are kind of, but you know, I'm simplifying it the best way I can for you. And I'm telling you, as a grown young man, you got to get out your parents' house, bro. They are really not even your mother. Now, I don't know if your sisters and brothers are younger than you. They're not even obligated to take care of you no more. See the way I'm talking right now, for people who really don't get this coming off real like messed up, like real harsh. Like, man, why? No, but man, bro, this is love. This is care. I'm telling you, bro. If you live long enough, you'll say, oh, okay, you know what? I see it now. So, oh, you got to get your own. God bless the child. That what? And I ain't saying your mama perfect. I don't know. You know your mother. I don't know your mother. But again, don't let yourself lose respect. Don't let yourself become disrespectful to your mom, man. Trying to read what y'all saying too. History says, and out your feelings, bro. Hey, man, you got to man up. See, the lens that I'm seeing this through a 52-year-old lens that has lived through these types of situations and have been on both sides of the coin and all crap in between. And trust me, but when I looked at it through a 19-year-old's lens, I saw it the way you saw it. Now, I wouldn't accuse my mom of being a narcissist or nothing like that. But there are similarities in how I saw it. And I'm just telling you, when you get out on your own and you start to experience your own life in your own ways, you may still look at it like you look at it forever. But I'm just saying, typically, it'll hit a little different once you call in the shots. Wait a minute, man. Hold on. Chloe Brown, you trying to be funny? Yeah, I'm 52. Next month, inshallah, I'll be 53. I ain't ashamed of my age. Yeah, I'll put it in the comments. How many of y'all will put y'all age in the comment box? How many of y'all will put y'all age in the comment box? 31, 38. Man, these 30s, boy, the 30s is getting it in. It's both 30s and everything. 38. Okay, that go 40. 30, 36. We got 20, 22. Retribution is 444 years old. 45, 54. Well, hold on. Jody, 54. I ain't the oldest person in here. All right, Jody, that's what's up. Salute. 50 Club. What's up, Joe? Man, we got a legend in the building, man. Hold on, time out, man. Time out, man. Time all the way out. Bro, look, don't try to run. Yeah, Brownie, you 35. I knew you when you was a young buck. Okay, check it out, man. Look, my brother's in the building, man. One of South Park OGs from way back. Where y'all see Pastor Joseph Gwynn. He's a pastor. He's always been a man of God, but sometimes we just got to make it official. And he's been on that front line forever now. But he is a legend in South Park and in the city of Houston, man, because he was, to my knowledge, him and our brother, the late great Stu Baby, first cats from the hood to go on Apollo, Showtime at the Apollo, amateur night, and not just go on Apollo back in the days, went on that thing and won multiple times. Southside dancers. So yeah, man, we got an OG, we got a legend up in this thing. That put the hood on so strong. When my guys went up there on Apollo, man, go on Apollo, go on YouTube and pull up Southside. It's on YouTube, Joe. If y'all go on YouTube and pull up Showtime at the Apollo, Southside dancers, hopefully it'll come up. Come on, man. This legendary. They put the hood on, man. Everybody was like, ooh, you seen somebody that you just know on the national stage like that, man. They did that. Hold on, we still dropping ages? I like when women are not scared to tell their age. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. See, I never understood that. You know how you be watching TV and they'll say, oh, you should never ask a woman her age. Is that like, am I wrong? Is that like something that's really offensive or disrespectful? Because I could be wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong, but I never understood it. I'm like, why? Especially if you don't look your age. If you don't look your age, you should be ready to tell people, yeah, I'm Sheree Clark. I'm 47. Like, yeah, okay. So, because guess what? Somebody gonna say, what? No, you ain't no 47. Girl, you look 28. You know what I'm saying? But some women, they get offended when you ask them how old they are. Like what is that? Where did that come from? And I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be fun. I'm trying to make sure I ain't being disrespectful to no universal law, or breaking some kind of universal law. Why is it like out of pocket to ask a female what her age is? Do anybody know the answer? Let me find out. Let me see. Come on, Joe. You know, man. Salute to you, brother. Anytime you need me, just reach out, Joe. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Y'all don't know about that. I want to know, man. Help me out, Joe. Help me out, Pastor. Why is it wrong? Because I feel like, if you get to know the guy, he don't have to find out your age anyway. You can be married to do 18 years and he don't know how old you are. Hold on, I can't wait to, let me see. Okay, Chloe Brown. Yeah, Chloe, but you're an exception, Brownie, because you still look, yeah, you still get carded. Yeah. You still around here looking like you in 11th grade. All we gotta do is put a backpack on you, some colorful tennis shoes, some little clothes that the young people, and we could put you in 11th grade and put you in a desk, and wouldn't nobody know no different. So YG Muhammad says she don't want to bring up terrible teenage years. But I mean, they don't have to come up. I'm trying to figure out, man. Why is it a problem to ask a woman her age, man? Y'all make me understand, bro. Ultra dry carpet. Hold on. Send me an email if you're serious. Are you a promoter? I just put my email in the box. Ultra dry. Are you a promoter? Because if you can do it like that, then let's make it happen. You say you'll book the convention center, let's do it. I don't talk about it. I'm straight up about it. I'll be in Perth tomorrow, if that's the case. Now, you know what, Andrew? Now, I would never ask a woman how much she weighs. I think weight and age is different. I don't think that's the same. That don't equate the same. I would never look at a woman and say, how much you weigh? You know, now if we on a conversation, just say you having a conversation about something in that category, and then y'all might be talking about this or that, and then you might say, okay, well, how much do you weigh now? What's your current weight? Just in the midst of that topic. But I ain't gonna come out of left field and, hey, how much you weigh? You know, but that's different than age. Age is like something to me. I just don't see why a woman would get offended about that. You know, so you talk, it's like you asking somebody their name and they say their name, you go, well, how old are you? Oh, how old are you? You don't ask a woman how old she is. Why? Like, I never understood that. I never understood that, man. Maybe it's me. Because she likes to keep you guessing. But if you end up getting involved with at some point, I don't know, man. Hold on. Let me take a few more. Women want to see. They want to see what? What they want to see, Brownie? Cherie, do you get upset if somebody asks you your age? Okay, hold on, Joe. Joe said most women don't want to tell their age because most are either older than you might guess or younger and scared to say. Now, yeah, now them younger ones now, because it ain't no younger women on here, but y'all can get guys in trouble. Don't do that. Women should teach younger girls who may be developed or more mature physically to don't lie about your age. But now, this is what you should never do. Don't ever try to play the game of trying to guess a woman's age. Even if she tell you, if you say, well, how old are you? And she go, take a guess. Don't do it. I'm gonna give y'all fellas some advice right now. You asking for it, because if you guess, if you shoot too high, that ain't, don't do it. You better not guess. I ain't guessing. Just tell me. Or you got to guess and then you don't really give a good guess because you don't want to shoot too high. In your mind, you want to say about 41, but you don't know. So you go, you about 28, good and well. Nah, man, don't ever guess. You asking for it. Oh, women want to seem young and youthful. Well, I mean, and that's cool. I mean, but you can only appear the way that you appear. Because the reality is, for males and females, some of us look older than what we really are. Some of us look younger than what we really are. And some of us don't know what we look like. So we be delusional. So I'm around here, yeah, man, I'm 52. But I really look like I'm about 31. And y'all like, no, dude, you look 52. And some women do that too. I know I don't look my age. You be like, yeah, I'm glad somebody think it. Mm-mm. You don't fool with what you don't play with weight at all. Unless they smaller. Now, if they little, they petite, they don't mind that as much. They're not gonna get too in their feelings behind the weight if they are small. They got a little thickness, or they may be a little insecure about, the size on them. Don't play that. You asking for it, buddy. Ooh, wait. Denise. Come on, Denise. Denise say, I'm more concerned about a person's mental age. Come on now. Now they gotta be legal though, Denise. But I know what you're saying. See, that's what I'm talking. See, maturity, that's the key. Because guess what? You got some that are 45, 50, but they act like little children. They immature. They act like they have the mind of a 16-year-old. And these are grown, older women. They just never matured out of certain ways. How much me then? How much what? Want me to guess your weight, Brownie? How much you want me to guess? But yeah, see, maturity, oh man, Denise came through and dropped the hammer. Denise dropped the hammer. Look, Jay said that's what I did. Thought I went low and was still too high. On what? On age or weight? Yeah, you don't play around. You don't play around, man. I learned the hard way too many times, man. That's why I was telling nephew, you got to experience teaches you a lot, man. I walked up on this lady one time. I wasn't trying to holler at her. Then I walked up on her and when is your baby due? And she said, I ain't pregnant. God honest truth. Her stomach was, and it looked like she was pregnant, bro. I assumed, I was just trying to be nice and make regular. I said, oh, when is your baby due? I ain't pregnant. Never did that again. I can know good and well she pregnant. I don't say nothing. See? You live and learn, man. You live and learn. How much you weigh, Chloe? I'm gonna put it in the thing. read what I just said. How much you weigh? Oh man! Wow! I gave her 45. She was 40. See, you thought she was. Oh, see, you tried to shoot low, bro. So in your eyes, she was 15 years older than what she really was, and you chopped off 10, and was still 5 over. Yeah, that's strong. That's right. I'm gonna tell you what else I did one time. See, all this stuff I remember like it was yesterday because it's stuff that sticks with you. That's why I talk about regret is real. I played the basketball league, and my homie came to the game with him, the mother of his baby, and his baby in the stroller, little bitty baby, brand new. So after the game, we walking out the gym, and I'm like walking alongside him. I'm like playing with the baby. I'm like, "What's up, boy? What's up, boy? I see you, boy. I see you, boy. Yeah, 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 yeah." And I guess I said, "Boy," too many times. My homie say, "Man, it's a girl." True story. But they had her in all blue. Blue little thing, blue little hoodie thing on the head. And I thought it was a boy. When a baby is that young and the baby don't have like hair, that's a natural mistake that somebody can make, bro. And I must have said boy 16,000 times. And finally he said, "Hey man, it's a girl." And he was looking like just like they were like, and I was like, that airplane commercial, "Want to get away?" That was me. But usually when they that young, they'll put the little girl in like pink or something. They'll tie a little thing around her head. So unless you know this a girl, all blue. Trying to tell you. True story, man. I'm not lying. Joe, man, hit me up. Your number still the same? If your number's still the same, I still got it. If not, I can get it for murder. Yep. Denise say that's how we do. I'm from Kansas City, baby. There it is. KC in the building. KC repping tonight. I can't make this stuff up, bro. This everything I'm telling y'all is the God honest truth. God honest truth. I'll do a live stream tomorrow. I'll do an open topic tomorrow, y'all, so y'all can ask me a lot of the questions that y'all are asking me. Do me a favor though, everybody that's on here now, before we go, y'all be sure to subscribe to my podcast channel, Underground Dialogue Podcast. Y'all can go do that right now. Go catch the latest episode, the new episode, and the back episodes that y'all haven't missed. The new episode will be out this week. We just did an interview with the Fifth Wall Boys. Real dope interview, man. So y'all be tuned in to that next week. This coming week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. But in the meantime, we got about 17, 18 episodes. I ain't asking y'all to watch them all in one night, but try to get at least one in per night, because even when we talking to people that y'all may not know, trust me, the knowledge and the information is there. The game is there, and it's something that we all need and can feed off of each other with. So Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. And I appreciate y'all. What happened to the underground dialogue video yesterday? What you mean? What you mean what happened, Jared? It got taken down. I don't know what you're talking about. I gotta see what happened. Ox said he made fun of guys wearing colored contacts, and his half brother said my son was. See, this day and age, you just don't know, man, what people into, man. We got to read the room. I've learned to be like just in the cut. When people start talking about certain things, let me wait. Let me wait before I jump. I don't dive head in no more. That come with wisdom. That come with time, experience. Yep. Hey, man, y'all be blessed, man. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.